Switch on. Getting up to greet the dawn. Suited up, shoes on. Ready? We are the spotlight, the strong light, the warm glow. Moving toward a future where the air is clean and the energy is green. Powering the engines of trains of thought, linking what is to what could be. We are positive energy.
Welcome back to the BK Arena. Will Perry picks up possession as they just moved ahead for the very first time after the first time out. More importantly, there's a player who's injured, and it's Chris Crawford. And we want to get the latest from Usher, who was listening in. What's the latest information coming from the bench there, Usher?
Yes, Crawford got some treatment from the medical team of AS Douane. He's got some ice there, and he's feeling a little bit better, but they're trying to also play safe and give him some time to recover, but I think that he will come back later in this game.
What is it? Is it an injury to his hamstring, or is it his hip?
It's his right hip.
Right hip, yeah, that's where he's holding when he went in. Oh, thanks very much, Usher. That's very important information for us. It's going to play an important role in how they actually deal with this Beira team as Young goes up. He tries to get himself a shot in, battles valiantly for the ball, but it doesn't go his way. It's Usher. Rubio picks it up. There's the drive going through, doesn't get the boards, player down. And it looks like it is Barandai.
It's a battle royal inside the paint at this moment on both ends. Just another look at the shot that goes up and the rebound. He does well to control it. It's just exploding to the floor.
And we've already got a change.
Sidibe is going to have to go to the bench.
Second foul, right?
Picks up his second foul.
And a change with Paul Mbia, who's come on to replace him of the DRC NBA Academy player. Look at that. It's a beautiful score there from Sampafal.
These are two of the teams that take the least amount of three-point attempts, so they're very selective about where they shoot. Still a nice shot from foul.
There's Nomad. He's so good at that, but just a little bit high off the boards. Picks the ball back up, gets another chance. Out wide, picked up, and down in the corner. They're just working, waiting. Nomad has come on. There's a shot. They're coming in from Mungwambe. Still in possession. Back to 14. Perry this time. Perry! Score pick. Perfection.
If he can see it, he can knock it down. He's such a dangerous threat from the outside.
When they go, Q. We've seen that before. Sometimes, you know, he's a floor manager, he's a floor general. But when he does start to hit those long-range shots, they go and they work. And, well, they turn this Beira team into a very voracious attacking team.
Sure it does.
Nurmamad, and it's up and beautifully in as well. Mungwambe, 26-year-old, showing us what he's capable of doing. Look at this, they got a nice little lead.
And that's what happens when you knock down long-range shots. This is in transition, the nice pass, and Mungwambe gets the finish, but it's the perimeter threat that opens up for this Beira offense.
Ocharobia out to foul, and look at that. That is a big score as well down in the corner. 3 points in the bag for that man.
Back-to-back he goes from the perimeter. Foul, trying to reply to Perry's scoring exploits.
I mean, you know, test the waters, why not, Mr. Perry?
Quick just like that, and we'll forget that 41-point performance that ties the league record. He can definitely score in bunches.
That's a great charge, but I'm afraid that there's too much traffic through the middle. The ball gets knocked out of bounds, and it will be Beira who get possession. Let's just have a look at Perry. Look at that, he's not afraid. He's not afraid in going and aggressively charging into the bigs.
I love the periscopic perfection, and he knocks it down from the outside, but he just gets inside as well, and the hand can be used as a periscope in multiple ways.
2:25 left on the clock. It's a 3-point lead. It's game on, game on. Big, lots of points being scored. He's running into trouble now and being pushed back, and it's gone back over and brought back. He was just, see, that's, Boissy comes on. Look what Boissy does to this AS Douane team.
Well, he's an energy guy, and, you know, he lets Perry know about the backcourt violation, and there's definitely a little moment here between the two of them. You want to know how much it means to both these players? That tells you right there.
And the fact is that sort of, you know, Perry could have fallen over because he was pushing into him quite a lot. So, you know, I understand his frustration at the same time. Here's Crawford. Crawford goes up, back on the court, and you can see that he couldn't drop that one in from long range, from downtown, from down. And that's a beautiful pass. Let Mungwambe gets in front of his man. Doesn't get it. Oh, they were so close. It didn't happen from Beira. And at the other end, Boissy up against Perry. Perry does really well defensively. Crawford for three. Lasered in.
Wow, what an amazing sequence of play. Things that just didn't go well for both teams, and Crawford ties it up with the big three.
Hey, this is a buzzing scenario here, and the crowd are getting an absolute showcase of a game. Nurmamad goes up, Nurmamad goes up. There was contact on the wrist. He'll go to the free throw line.
Oh, we get a look at just how great this footwork is. Nurmamad able to create separation, draw a foul, and at least bring just a frenetic passage of play, some sort of a break. And just looking at Chris Crawford, he is a lethal sniper from downtown.
Nurmamad is the player who goes up there. He's an international player for the Mozambique national team. Of course, played in the 2022 BAL, so familiar territory for him. But of course, they didn't make the finals. So this is their first finals that they're actually taking place here in Kigali. And I mean, the joy and the celebration of them qualifying was fantastic. And, you know, the victories that they managed to pick up against Slack with that wonderful big score, 109 points, highest score in the BAL. And then, of course, that win against the Tigers, 82-76.
And in that game, Nurmamad had 20 points against the Tigers. He was instrumental in them picking up a big win. If he plays well, it certainly does help this Beira offense.
Boissy knows how to shoot from downtown, just on the edge of the arc. Goes out wide to Foul. Foul goes for a mid-range two. The two bucket is good.
And that's where Perry will suffer just a little bit, taking advantage of his height mismatch. Foul creates separation for an easy two on the baseline.
Yeah, I think he wants to paint that bucket gold, doesn't he, Foul, in the way that he likes to, you know, drop it up and in.
Well, he goes up to 10 points with that make. He's been looking for his offense, and he leads the way for this AS Douane team. Nurmamad to the bench.
Yeah. Here we go then with Will Perry, and he gets the ball down into the corner. It's Gay, and a chance to try and outmuscle their opponents. Gay goes up. It's a little bit too short. Doesn't get on the right side. Doesn't fall on the right side of the metal.
Beira has certainly had a presence inside the paint. He's given them a little bit of a pressure release. He's picked up some rebounds, but I think we're just going to see a little bit more aggression from him with the ball in hand.
Long-range shots, and that is sensational. Look at that. Big score there coming in from JJ Boissy.
Scorer off the bench for sure, Boissy.
25-21, and all of a sudden AS Douane have moved 4 points ahead. It's up to Beira to try and get themselves back in. And Crawford just getting in the way of Beira.
Ran into a little bit of trouble. He spins baseline, and the double team comes. Crawford hands everywhere, and he just gets the last touch.
Back out, and a chance for them to try and regroup. Perry goes up off the metal, but Beira picks it up. Gay back out. drops it in, doesn't get itself over the Kinshasa.
Such big presence. I talked about his rebounding. We saw it in sequence there, and finally he gets a field goal to reward himself for the hard work.
Last few seconds, got to go for the shot. Boissy for three. Oh! Way beyond the suburbs, beats the buzzer. 28-23 for AS Douane after the first quarter. Look at that, that's nuts. Bonkers, brilliant from that man, JJ Boissy. And we're going to take a break and we'll be back after in a couple of moments' time. Oh! So welcome back to the BK Arena. Here we are for the start of the second quarter. 5-point lead. Jean-Jacques Boissy there, just dropping in to say, yeah, I can score from down at the other side of the border, me.
Well, he shows you why he was labeled a spark plug. Boissy with the 6 quick points off the bench. Some red hot shooting from the perimeter for AS Douane. 5 of 8 they were in that first quarter.
And the attempt to try and get one in. Muscling his opponents, doesn't fall for Diakite. We talked about basketball without borders. Well, there's definitely no borders when Boissy's shooting from downtown.
Wow, that's the logo, almost the logo 3 from Boissy, but what fantastic presence and awareness to understand that it was a buzzer-beating shot, and he made it. Confidence is everything.
Confidence is everything, Usher, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. That is what they need in this game. But just also to bring in what Coach Luis Hernandez was telling the Beira players, they need to take care of the ball, play defense, especially as a team, communicate and continue to ask those questions of this AS Douane team.
Look at that block from Gay. Mac Gay doing the business there. The ball comes out, and that is Young goes up. Oh, unable to just get it through, and the ball flies out. But there was a contact, a bit of touch of the ball there from AS Douane. They'll get possession back.
Well, Young is struggling just a little bit as he gets a chance here on the fast break. Cooks it a little bit too much because a little bit of pressure there from Crawford. Great job on the defensive end.
Crawford really has upped his game defensively, just getting in the way, making life very complicated for everybody. Perry. It comes out. Oh, that's nearly an excellent attempt to try and get that back in from Matt Gay.
Great work again. You see the presence of both Beira and Gay. And Beira, 4 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. They had 6 offensive rebounds in total, and that's surprising given the size of AS Douane on the floor. But it's Matt Gay who was at the free throw line.
And yeah, Matt Gay goes up and he'll try and knock in a couple of more points to try and increase his tally. Quite low scoring at the moment for Beira, but there's a few players. In fact, we've got 7 players who have got themselves on the scoreboard, which is absolutely fantastic already. So hopefully we'll see that lots of players coming off the bench and will distribute and get some points.
That's how they're going to win it. They are a team that moves the basketball, and to try and shift this much bigger team, that's the way they've got to play.
Long-range shot, the attempt at the offensive rebound, and it doesn't fall. You can see that Beira working really hard to try and stop the bigs from getting themselves those points.
Work inside for them and Amaning, but both Diakite and Amaning battling inside. It's going to be some sort of a spectacle as the bigs clash for rebounds. Amaning, 2 of 6 he was in conference play from the free throw line. Didn't really get out there much, but from Washington College, signed with Zamalek in 2020, didn't get the chance to play for them, and here he is plying his trade for AS Douane in this very, very crucial single elimination contest.
Yeah, Matthew Bryan and Manning, of course, parents from Ghana, played in the UK for the British Basketball League, and coming into the BAL for the first time and trying to make his mark with Mike Ocherobia as well. And there's the attack. Oh, it's beautifully done, isn't it? Dropping in, Bryan and Manning doing the business there finally.
After struggling from the free throw line, he gets it back, and maybe he'll breathe just a little sigh of relief.
Young dancing, moving, trying to get the points. That's Mbaya just can't get himself that little pick up and put in. And again, they fall short and they trail by 6 now. Beira can't afford to lose those possessions and not get points on the board.
No, they can't at all. And we just see them switching defenses on different possessions. It's interesting to see how they are shifting for some adjustments here from Douane.
You know, this guy is absolutely outrageous, isn't he? Jean-Jacques Boissy's incredible long-range shooting, and it's a 3+1.
Amazing. He gets a chance for a 4-point play, and he has a look right into the eyes of Mark Dargay and says, what were you even thinking about?
It's exactly that. You've got to just give him lots of credit. And, you know, he's been around for a long time, working, you know, hard. Jean-Jacques Boissy, 23 years of age, but a former NBA Academy player. And I think that's why he's a familiar face around these parts, because, you know, with the NBA Academy and the BAL Elevate program, everybody knows this guy and is so proud of seeing him and lots of the other youngsters come up and finally fly.
Well, yeah, he definitely made an impact in that Sahara Conference.
Perry, oh, he's just being well, Young tries to get himself possession. That will be a foul, and it's Boissy who just gets in the way as Young tries to snatch it away and get the ball back. Look at that from Boissy. I mean, has he got the contact lens?
Well, he's got the belief of his team, and he's earned it because of his great work in conference play. It was 19 minutes off the bench, 10 points, 2.3 assists, 4 rebounds, but he just gets it all done. And he was especially instrumental in their win over US Monastery in that do-or-die game that sees them make their way into this quarterfinal.
Yeah, but that wasn't just a win, was it? It was 60-76. They basically knew how to break down the Giants of Tunisia, you know, and that was extraordinary. Sidibe's back on, and here's Nulamat, just goes for a floater. Oh, that's delightful. I love the way that he uses the glass.
Needed that score. It's a big score. They've been a bit of a scoring drought, and he breaks the scoring run with an important bucket in Mamade.
It's not everybody's cup of tea to actually use the glass cue.
Not at all. 36% they are from the field. Ferroviario de Beira.
Boissy goes high, doesn't fall. Foul picks it up, out to Crawford. He's the man at the moment, isn't he? Crawford does the business, and he moves himself up to 8 points.
will be interesting. Contact comes in on another Najeel Young drive. See how long Beira stay in their zone. They keep shifting it, but in the zone, they slow to get out to Crawford, who's wide open. He nails another three-pointer, and he goes to 8 points on that make.
Some great performances from Crawford as they qualified, of course, from the Sahara Conference.
Young, the chance at the free throw line again, and he's got to continue to make these scores. He is such an important part of this Ferroviario offense. We haven't seen him enough.
.28. Douane go chasing more points. It's not a good pass. Nummerman picks it up. Perry, and he drops one in. Oh! Incredible score. Big time scoring there from that man, Mac Gay.
Excellent pass again. It's court vision from Perry, who leads the BAL in assists, and you get to see why.
Crawford, surely not. No way. Massive shot. Up to 11. Another three-pointer.
8th three-pointer for this AS Douane team. They are scorching from the perimeter.
Nummerman floats one in. Doesn't get it. Young doesn't get his hands on the ball. It gets knocked off Crawford's hands.
Another look at the pass and the finish as Gay skies in. Perry, eyes on the back of his head. Beautiful pass, excellent finish.
Peripheral vision, it's exactly that. Mantis shrimp chameleons, they can all see behind themselves as they make those passes. It's incredible.
Surreal.
But still, you see the lead, and it's a 10-point lead. And the 10-point lead doesn't sit well for Coach Hernandez. 6 minutes left in the second quarter, 6 minutes left in the first half. They go again. Samba foul. Undor this time. Well, the long-range shot from downtown doesn't find its final destination. Nummerman, Perry. Sidibe tries to go through the thicket. It's been picked up by Gay. Oh, he runs straight into Diakite. And I think they've lost possession, haven't they? Because
just shows you the strength and the frame of Diakite inside. The drive in, standing stage straight up, and the ball comes right out of Gay's hand.
Up, taken forward. Young, Perry, right across. Good pass out to Nummerman. The long-range shot doesn't fall. Taken up court by Undor. That's a good pass. And Diakite unable to sink that with Ndai, unable to sink it. And the fans here, the Senegalese fans, making a lot of noise. A lot of noise.
They sure are, and they are in full cry. We saw what noise they can make out in Dakar supporting AS Douane, and they've made the journey here to Kigali to try and spur on their team. Third personal foul for Gay, and one wonders how long he'll stay on the floor. It's a battle again inside the paint, because of the variety of options that AS Douane have at its disposal. It's going to be tough going inside. Diakite. So some of his offensive prowess for Dirk in the first season, but he's here he is again in the second season rather. Here he is again back in the BAL and trying to help Douane advance.
There's a bit of animation on the bench there at Beira, Usher. Just a little bit of movement.
Yes, a bit of movement. Looking at the bench players and looking at what's happening on the court. It's a bit tough for Beira. We knew that size will play a key role in this one. Maxage with 3 fouls in the second quarter means that Mbia has to come back on that court to deal with Manning and Diakite in that paint.
You know, that's such a fantastic shot. The patience paid off there for Matthew Bryan and Manning. Look, they've got a 13-point lead.
Inside, outside, they go, and when you see them help create that ISO situation, Manning taking advantage.
Great defensive play once again from Diakite. Charges up court, doesn't get the pass back. Hand goes up for Crawford saying, sorry, mate, it didn't happen on that occasion.
Great idea, and just doesn't go to hand. Frustration for Chris Crawford, but his team have done an amazing job so far in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think we're going to take a break. 43-30. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to the BK Arena. Here's Douane. Well, they got a 13-point lead, but Beira, all they need is to hit a run and they'll be back in business. Crawford went off for a moment. He's back on, but look what he's done so far, Q.
One of 3 players in double figures, 11 points. He's leading the way, 50% from the field. He's got 3 assists and 4 rebounds. And I think importantly, 75% he is from the 3-point line. They have been red hot. 8 threes they've connected on 13 attempts at 61%. And that's why they built a 13-point lead.
Yes, 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 yes. It's time for us to see exactly how Beira will hit back. A lot of work. Coach Gay can be happy. You know, he's a smooth operator because he keeps quite a low profile and works his magic. And I think that everything's functioning in the right way for the West African team from Senegal. Of course, Sidibe gets the ball back out to this man, Najael Young. Here he is from Wisconsin, back out. That's nice swing ball. Long range shot, beautiful score. Mungwambe, big 3 there from down in the wing.
Their 4th connection, big time shot. He needed to make that, just brings them back within 10.
Usher, we're going to come over to you because I think that there's a lot of chit-chat on the side of the bench. And you know what you're doing over there, and you're picking up little nuggets all the time.
There's a lot of emphasis on the AS Douane bench, just really emphasizing that they need to play good defense as a team and collectively make sure that they do a good job against this team, Beira, who are very fast on the ball. They're great in transition. They've already showed that. And also really to maintain this momentum that they've built up in this second quarter.
Yeah, and Usher, just want to mention something as we see Bryan and Manning going to the free throw line. It's today's a special day. It's a special day that we celebrate women for the BAL for Her campaign.
Yes, absolutely. It's BAL for Her today, and there's an under-23 camp bringing together girls from across the African continent, and also just to really emphasize that there is an interest with women on the court and off the court. There's so many women working around the BAL, and on the court right now, Sarah Gamal El Shanoubi, who's one of the trial referees on the court.
Thank you so much, Usher. And we'll talk about it with throughout the day, of course, because we've got another game coming up a little bit later on, quarterfinal number 4, as we see a few shenanigans. Will Perry just getting tangled up there with the big man, Adama Diakite. They get possession back.
They keep fighting, and it's going to become more niggly. There'll be a lot more said between the two players and the teams as the game develops.
Yeah, there was a little moment, nice little pirouette there from Perry. Perry gets the ball out, Young for a big shot. The shot doesn't sink, and they pick the ball up once again. Crawford, things going well for AS Douane. AS Douane and Crawford with a mid-range too. A little movement, a shot that's sumptuous.
It is tough to guard Chris Crawford when he is in this sort of mood, and on a good day he's a great scorer. On a good day he's a good scorer. On a great day he's even better than that.
Young needs to stand up and try and reciprocate exactly what Crawford's doing, because he's the kind of player who can turn things around. That's nicely done. Look at that. Get rid of your defenders, and very close. Ball just squims out, picked up down there in the corner from Pat Diop, and slowing it all down is that man, Mr. Crawford.
Well, credit the defense for that missed opportunity, but they did well to pick up the second chance opportunity, AS Douane.
Kitaye with a long-range shot going over, and shot clock down to 0. No score on that phase. Perry swings it out to Numamad. Big 3 for Numamad.
5 of 15. They take 18 threes a game. They're already up and going close to their game average in the first half, but they have to.
And they've got to fight for those balls, and that's good defensive play. It gets wildly. Must be knocked out by Endure, so they will get possession back. And that was going way over the head of Numamad. Flung high up into the sky, over the clouds, and back down.
And they keep possession. Important possession here for Ferroviario de Beira.
Yeah, because if they can get a score from this, they go below 10. There we see Najeel Young. He's taking a breather. Chirombe's come on, and they need to try and do something. Use the big. Sidibe's the player, going just right through the paint. Oh, that's just come on back off the boards, the wrong side of the orange metal there, and made safe by Endure.
Great contest inside the paint to force the miss from Sidibe.
Endure picks it up just around the arc, throws it up high, and in it goes Mohamedou Diagne.
Inside they go this time. The lob threat is completed on the play.
Perry with an attempted sneaky pass, but look at Endure. He's just going out there, queuing up to try and get that rebound or to take the pass. It was one of two players, Brian Manning doing the business there, and his tally's slowly increasing, isn't it? Up to 7 points for him.
They've showcased their depth, they've showcased their versatility on the offensive end. AS Douane. They've gone outside, now they're going inside, and they're making it very difficult for Ferroviario de Beira.
And you can see that Endure doing the business there and just flinging it up into the sky. Beautifully driven down there. Alley-oop time for Diagne.
Extreme athleticism, getting up high above the rim for the catch and finish, and that's a little bit of an exclamation point on what has been a very good second quarter for AS Douane. They've got to make some adjustments here to Beira. They've got to start coming back into it in the second, well, just to close out this final minute.
Leaping high like a Serengeti serval. Team comparisons here. AS Douane Beira 50-35 is the score line, and there you can see Crawford at the top there for the Douane.
13 points, and one of 3 players in double figures. 6 rebounds for Amaning on the inside. They always will split the scoring a little bit on the Beira side, but I think you want to see a name, Najeel Young, have a couple more makes. He struggled from the field. 1 of 8 he was, and as the team leading scorer and their primary offensive threat, got to get a couple more touches. He's got to finish a lot more in the paint.
Let's go over to Ashish. He's got hot news coming off the press.
Breaking news I bring you from the court side. Well, Coach Louis Hernandez just emphasizing to the players they need to really just continue moving that ball around until they can get options on the court or scoring side, but also to do a better job on the defensive side. Of course, AS Douane benefiting so much from their size in that paint, but if they can use size in this case, they could have a chance.
Yeah, And the great thing is they got Nurmad and Perry. They swing the ball around. They're agile. They're moving constantly. It gives them those opportunities to actually find the player who's got a bit of space to find his path through or go through a long-range shot. But the defensive game is where it all matters because they're just conceding too many points, Q.
They have the worst defense in the BAL. They concede 92.4 points a game. They have to try and bring that average down in this all-important game.
That's really nicely done by Mongwambe, but it doesn't fall. Perry picks it up, driving through. Look what he does. He gets fouled, and the foul is being committed by Mohamedou Douane.
Important, again, that they just continue to try and maximize possessions. Great drive in there from Perry. Really ran out of options, draws the foul.
It's Crawford, actually, who picks up the second foul.
Yep. Second foul for Chris Crawford, fourth team foul for AS Douane.
Coach Gay there watches on. He knows that he's in a pretty good place, but they've got to keep their eyes on Beira. Beira will want to try and reel in that big lead. 15 points is not good for Coach Hernandez. You know, let's bring it down. It's 13 now. Let's see if they can get it down to at least 10.
10 will be the target.
There you go. Not that you've ever been in a team that's been trailing at half-time, Q.
Of course not.
Of course not. Perry just gets his hands in the way. Diop picks it up, cornered. Shot clock down to 5, swings it back out. There's Jaw, and there is contact there.
No, they're going to call.
It's goaltending, isn't it?
They'll call interference. He's got his hand on the net as the drive comes in. This goes up and could not get his hand up in front of the rim city base, so he'll pick up. Well, AS Douane will pick up the easy 2.
Well, the shot clock, as you can see, there's about a 4-second differential. Mongwambe being told to get moving. Perry trying to produce something. Shot clock down to 7. He's got to find it. He's got to get a block. It goes way over the top of Mongwambe. 7.8 seconds left on the clock.
Right now, Chris Crawford is doing a really great job of coverage on Perry. He's making it difficult. They're blitzing him at different times, and they've done a great job in the first half of getting his scoring under control.
And there's a timeout that's been called here so that they can just get their own little play set up for this final play of the first half. 52-37, 15 points. It's not an attractive differential. They want to make that a little bit less, but it's up now to AS Douane to try and go a little bit further and try and extend that going into the half.
They have to. They're probably going to look for a 3, and the way that they've shot the ball in the first half, you can almost bank on them going for a perimeter shot. If they come out too early, they'll have an adjustment. They'll know where the secondary option will run, and I think it's going to be tough. Based on what we've seen, it's going to be tough for Ferroviario to get a stop, but they'll look for it. 13 points as we look at the primary comparisons there. 10 points for Will Perry, 43% shooting, 4 assists, and 2 of 5 from downtown. On the other side is Chris Crawford. He's been under control. He's picked his moments, but he still leads all scorers, 13 on 3 of 5 from outside.
Jean-Jacques Wassi's on the court. Wouldn't surprise me if he picks up the ball from downtown and produces a long-range shot, just like the end of the first quarter. Crawford's another option. I mean, they do have options, basically, don't they?
They brought Diop in as well, and just to extend and see if they can't get a good look from the perimeter.
Wassi, 4 seconds. Has to go, doesn't he? Has to go. It's a big shot, but it doesn't go. It's just the other side. A little bit frustrating, but still, that's the halftime scores here at the BK Arena for this third quarterfinal. The Basketball Africa League, 52 points for AS Douane, 37 for Beira of Mozambique. We'll be back with the highlights in a little moment.
For the next game, the last quarterfinal of the BL 2023, featuring the Golas Pestros to Luanda and ABC Fighters of Cote d'Ivoire. Keep up with the BL by going to the website.
Ikipe ya AS Douane isoje igice cya mbere cy'umukino ihagaze neza amanota 52 kuri 37 ya Beira. ihagaze neza. Gusa mbere yuko tuza twinjira mu byaranze uyu mukino muri iyi minota 20 ibanza, reka tubanze dutumike tubone tugaruke mu kanya tureba ese niki AS Douane iri kurusha ikipe ya Ferroviario da Beira muri Mozambique.
Kigali Tente aba banyamwuga nibo bonyene babakorera amatenti y'ubwoko bunyura ibyifuzo byanyu ako kanya mukayataha naho gutakaza umwanya n'amafaranga ngo murayatumiza mu mahanga. Barabakorera amatenti atwikira imodoka irangi ryayo ntiricuye kuko ricukubiri n'imvura n'izuba. Babakorera amatenti yisanzuye amwe yakira imisango, inama n'ibindi birori. Aba mu bukerarugendo namwe kandi Kigali Tente kibakorera amatenti yo gukambikamo ajyanye n'imiterere y'ikirere. Amarido yo muri tente akumira amahuyeza ahubwo akinjiza amahumbezi, ndetse n'imitaka ya gisirimu yo mu busitani kuri pisine n'ahandi. Ayo matente ashaje kandi aba bahanga barayakiza ubwo busembwa maze asubirana ubushyashya. Kigali Tente ni ku Kimisagara hafi ya Kiliziya Saint Pierre. Mwanahamagara cyangwa mukandika ubutumwa kuri 0788914308. Kigali Tente.
Reka kandi mbabwire ko muri Event Boutique babafitiye amasuti meza bifuza kwambara mu Karimba. Bakorera mu nyubako yariya mu isoko rya Nyarugenge muri floor ya 2 mu muryango wa 23, cyangwa se ukeneye ibindi bisobanuro ushobora kwahamagara kuri 0788765119 cyangwa kuri 078342 0795. Bafite amakote meza, abakora ubukwe n'ahandi nakurangira usibye muri Event Boutique bakaba bagufasha. Ni igice cya mbere kirangiye, ikipe ya AS Douane iri imbere, ikipe yo muri Senegal irahabwa amahirwe yo kubakomeza muri kimwe cya kabiri nikomeza kwitwara gutya, ariko amanota karita ya mbere yari ifite ni amanota 28 kuri 22 ya Beira, mu gihe karita ya kabiri irangiye ari amanota 52 ku manota 37. Evo, navuga ko kuri Douane iby'umutoza yari yateguye byose ntekereza ko byamugendekeye neza. Na minduka ubona zishobora kubaho wenda mu gice cya kabiri kuri Beira ishobora kuba yazikava inyuma ikaba yatsinda n'umukino.
Tangiye kuri AS Douane ubundi iby'umutoza yateguye ntekereza ko byamukundiye nkuko bivuze, kuko mbere y'uko umukino utangira twavugaga yuko uruhande rwabo rukomeye n'uruhande rugutsinda amanota 3. Aba point guard babo n'aba shooting guard bakoze neza, bahaye ikipe avantage ku buryo karita ya mbere yagiye kurangira bari imbere h'amanota 5, karita ya kabiri bashyiramo andi manota 10. Difference y'amanota 15 muri break ni amanota menshi urebye ku buryo babashije gukipinga momentum. Ntago umukino wabananira,
ntago bawutakaza. N'abakinnyi ariko twagiye tunabona hanze twatimo turaganira urya ari n'abakinnyi bakomeye, bamwe bananyuze no mu Rwanda, ariko intwaro zikomeye Douane ifite iyi mirakoresha nizi.
N'abagadi babo bafite abakinnyi nka Crawford yaciye muri Patriot umwaka ushize, bafite Jacques Boissy yaciye mu Rwanda mu ikipe ya Kigali akiri muto, yaciye muri UGB aca no muri Patriot. Urumva n'abakinnyi bamenyereye Kigali, ntago navuga ngo ikirere cyangwa nubwo bakirira mu nzu ngo birabagora. Abo ngabo rero bongeyeho nka Captain Alcar Ndour, urumva gushutira kure biraborohera ku buryo 3 points zabo zijyamo ziri kubakundira, icyo bari gukora cyose kiri guhinduka zabo.
Didi, wowe urabona ari iki Beira yabuze ugereranyije na Douane, ku buryo nkuko yarabivuze mu gace ka mbere byarangira amanota 28 kuri 23, harimo difference y'amanota 5, ariko agace ka kabiri 28 kuri 18. Urumva second quarter niho ikipe isa nkaho itakarije imbaraga.
Yatakaje imbaraga biturutse ariko ku ma turnovers bagiye bakora, kuko turangije igice cya mbere na karito ya kabiri bamaze gukora turnovers zigeze kuri 7, nyamara mu gice cya mbere ntago bari bakoze nyinshi. Total ya turnover Beira yakoze kugera ubu ni 9, mu gihe abandi bo ba Douane bo bakoze turnover 6. Nuko ngo rero mu rwego rwo kwirinda ko baza gutakaza umukino muri rusange, baze kugabanya imipira batakaza ndetse no gukosora muri defense, kuko defense yabo kane yabo isa nkaho iri hasi.
Muri make navuga ko ugiye kureba kuri comparaison y'imibare biragaragara ko AS Douane umusore witwa Crawford ufite amanota 13 niwe uri imbere, ndetse Boissy mukurikiye afite amanota 10. Ni bamwe mu bakinnyi bagerageje kwigaragaza aho ni ku ruhande rwa AS Douane, ariko nanone Peri nkuko mugarukagaho ni umwe mu basore bagize uruhare rw'amanota nawe 10 ku ruhande rw'ikipe ya Beira. Kuba ari abakinnyi wenda rimwe na rimwe beza ku giti cyabo, ntibishoboka ko umutoza mu gice cya kabiri ashobora kubigaho bigatuma wenda urwego rwabo rushobora kuba rwasubira hasi, ariko avuga ati reka ndebe uburyo nabafunga, ariko nanone nanjye ngerageza kugira ngo nze gushaka amanota yo gukuramo iki kinyonyo kuko amanota ni menshi bamushyizemo.
Ubundi ku ruhande rw'umutoza Luis Hernandez wa Beira, ikintu cya mbere agomba gukora ni uguhagarika abasore ko bakomeza guterera imipira kure, kuko ikigaragara ni uko bari très efficace kuri iyi mipira bari gutera, kuko bamaze gukora ku mpuzandengo y'imipira 14 bamaze gutera 15 umunani yagiye mu batereye kure, mu gihe Beira yo bakiri kuri 4 kuri 14. Urumva yuko gap hari nini, bagomba gukora cyane kugira ngo bagerageze guhagarika abasore cyane cyane Chris Crawford, bamubuze gushuta 3 points nibura binjiremo, kuko bashobora kubadefanda abakinnyi bari mu kibuga ba Douane, usibye uyu musore Adama Diakite, abandi bose bafite taille zishoboka ko zahagarikwa muri penti.
Ni igice cya kabiri wenda umuntu ashobora gutekereza ko Douane hari ikosa yakora, cyangwa tuvuge ko umukino warangiye uko bihagaze ubu ngubu.
Birashoboka Beira ishobora kugaruka mu mukino, usibye ko ngiye mbona bafite ikibazo cya bench, bari gukoresha abakinnyi bake cyane kuri bench, bari gukoresha abakinnyi 3 byabahaye amanota 7 yonyine, mu gihe Douane iri gukoresha effectif nini, bari kuhinduranya abakinnyi, bamaze gukora amanota 20 aturutse kuri bench, bakoresheje abakinnyi bayo bose usibye Dieng na Kamal Marwach umunya South Sudan niwe utaragera mu kibuga, na Dieng bonyine niwe ataragera mu kibuga, abandi bari kubakoresha. Ni ukuvuga ko rero bafite ekipe iri mu kibuga na bench ikomeye, bakomeje kwitwara neza, bagakomeza kwartera n'abakinnyi neza, bakajera umukino bawutsinda.
Didi, twitega iki kuri wenda Douane mu gice cya kabiri? Irakomerezaho geranyije nuko bitwaye mu gice cya mbere. Twizere ko wenda kuri Beira nta kishobora gukora ku mpinduka wenda zatuma
mu byo dushobora kwitega wenda muri iki gice cya kabiri. Twitege Douane wenda ishobora kuza kuzibira cyangwa se kudefanda ikabuza Beira gukora free throw, kuko ku rugero rwa 70% izo Beira yakoze zose zabaye successful. Ikindi turitega amanota arenze ari buze guturuka kuri bench, kuko byanga byakunda bagiye muri vestiaire, bagiye kwiga ku mukinnyi nka Crawford, bishobora kuza wenda bahinduye system bakamubuza gushota amanota 3, cyangwa se wenda Douane ikaza kwinjira muri paint. Ikindi navuga kuri Beira wenda dushobora kwitega, bagerageze niba bari bushyiremo abadefenseri benshi simbizi, ariko bisa nkaho defense yabo iri hasi. Icyo wenda nshobora kwitega, babibonye wenda abari bari kuri bench, umutoza ashobora kuza guhindura muri defense ye, akazamura urwego rwa defense bisa nkaho ruri hasi.
Mu mikino nk'ingi ikinyuranyo kiva he, kiba gikorwa nande, cyane cyane wenda kuri bano bakinnyi tuba twiteze ko bashobora kugira icyo bahindura mu mukino nka Beira? Hari ubifite ushobora kwitega ko hari icyo yahindura?
Beira ubundi kapiteni wabo uriya William Perry ashobora kuyobora umukino, yabafasha no gutsinda, ariko
aba yari umwe wenda bakaba bamuzibira
icyo kibazo. Bagize ikibazo muri center wabo witwa Sidibe w'umunyamari, ntago ari kubafasha cyane ku rebound, ndetse n'umukino offensive ntago ari kubafasha, ku buryo biri gutuma batinjiramo cyane. Bari kugerageza amanota 3 points zabo nyinshi nubwo zitari kubakundira, ariko ikintu cya mbere agomba gukora numva bakuye kumisha na Mamade mu kibuga agafatanya na Perry, nibura babona option nyinshi za shots za 3 points, nicyo cyatuma bakuramo gap. Bagejeje gukora attempt nyinshi, bashobora kuba bagira amahirwe bagakoramo difference nubwo bigoye.
Bisa nkaho na Young atari mwiza muri uyu mukino, kuko urebye turnovers nyinshi zaturutse iwe.
Young hari ikigabo kimuri iruhande cyo muri Senegal, Adama Diakite, ngira ngo nicyo bamuzaniye, bamushyizemo muri izi finals kugira ngo akine. Ari kumubangamira cyane, ntago ari gutuma shuta, kandi ubundi n'umukinnyi winjiramo akaba yakora amanota menshi muri penti, ariko uyu munsi byanze.
Ubu yo bakubangamiye gutya nk'abakinnyi baba bagomba gukora iki?
Ni uguhindura amayeri, n'umutoza nagahindura tactique uburyo yabakoreshaga, agahindura akanagerageza no gushakira ibisubizo kuri bench.
Ubwo mu kanya turaza n'ubundi gusubira kuri BK Arena aho turi buze kureba igice cya kabiri gusa n'umukino n'ubundi twavuga ko ikipe iza kuva aha ngaha irabizi neza ko imbere hari Petro Atletico cyangwa se wenda Bija mu mikino nk'iyi ngiyi akenshi tujya tuba wenda hari igihe umuntu aba atangiye gutekereza imbere tereka ntangire nkuremo irema zanjye nashyizemo ikinyuranyo cy'amanota 10 nangahe ntabwo byo bishobora kuba kuri AS Douane.
ubundi karito ya gatatu muri basket ni ibiri decisive cyane kuko bitewe n'uburyo uje mu kibuga ekipe ishobora gukuramo diferanse n'ama ekipe akomeye ubundi uburyo witwaye muri karito ya gatatu nibwo budefinisa resultat z'umukino. Iryo kosa rero ntekereza ko badashobora kurikora ryo kuvuga ngo bakuremo abakinnyi babo gusa byo bitewe n'ukuntu karito iraba imaze kugenda yenda mu gace ka kabiri ka karito ya gatatu ni ukuba mu minota 5 ya nyuma umutoza ashobora kujera akavuga ati ngerageze gukipinga iyi gap irimo nkoresha abakinnyi yenda bari kuri benshi kugira ngo bampe ibisubizo ibi n'ibi byo kugira ngo ngumishemo iyi ekari.
Twatangiye tuvuga ko ari umukino uza kuza kuba wegeranye ari umukino uza kutwereka koko conference yari ikomeye hagati ya Sahara na Nile ariko biragaragara ko Douane conference yavuyemo ariyo conference yari ikomeye.
Aho ngaho sinzi ko twakwemeranya ariko reka dutegereze umukino urangire birashoboka ko Douane ishobora no gutsinda ariko still Nile conference akaba ari isigaye ikomeye. Reka turebe kwanza igikombe kizajya hehe ikipe izatwara igikombe ndakeka ari za definisa conference yari ikomeye. Gusa byo n'uyu mukino ni umukino ushobora gusobanura neza izi conference urwego zari ziriho kuko nimba ari ikipe yarangije ari ya kabiri igura ni ya gatatu urumva n'umukino ama ekipe yenda kuba ku rwego rumwe.
Mbere ko wenda dusubira kuri arena ni match kuri bano bakinnyi wabonye yagiye bavuga bamwe bano ba Peri banyuze mu Rwanda ariko ntibanyura muri aya ekipe akomeye ngo Peri bari kumubona ntibivuze ko wenda dushobora kuba dufite some talents nyine ziri strong ariko twabyaza umusaruro.
Birashoboka ko zaba zihari kuko nk'uyu hano turi kumubona muri Beira abantu benshi ntibari bamuzi ni wo muri Titans ntago wenda yagize n'amahirwe yo gukina igihe kirekire gusa impano zirahari ahubwo bya bindi byo kwibanda ku ma ekipe amwe niba atari Patriote ni APR niba atari APR ni Rege nkeka ko mu mikino twarebye ya shampiyona mu minsi yashize ngira ngo warabibonye ko ekipe nka UGB ishobora kuza igacarenginga Rege umukino karangira harimo difference y'amanota 5
wamurije umuntu afite muri shampiyona bavuze ko ari ufite rebound nyinshi
yitwa Camdo Frank akomoka muri Chad umusore afata imipira myinshi cyane ya rebound cyane cyane ziri offensive
ahubwo nkuriye uriya nese simbona yararushaga n'abakinaga ejo sinabonye bari hanyuma ye hafi
ya rwego rero kare n'umukinnyi ukomeye ariko
international
bisaba irundi rwego ariko nyamara ushobora gusanga hari ikintu ari yakora
birashoboka ariko ndabiha amahirwe make
ukurikije ubwo niba muri shampiyona se ari we mu
shampiyona yitwara neza ariko nanone twibuke yuko shampiyona ntago amakipe yose ari ku rwego rumwe
ariko match yahuje UGB na Rege twarayirebye kandi yari yabagoye
umukinnyi mwiza byo ariko nanone ntago ari ku rwego rwa kereka tuvuze ngo yasimbura Picumanga yende kuko niwe bakina ku mwanya
nanone ariko nanone ngagorwa no kuba ari umunyamahanga
urumva abanyamahanga bagomba kuba ari babiri b'abanyafurika muri Afurika twe dukoresha ndakeka ni Adonis Fira nubwo afite ubwenegihugu bw'u Rwanda ariko ashobora kuba muri aya marushanwa bamukoresha nk'umunyafurika hagati ya Adonis Fira na Axel Mpoyo ashobora kuba bamukinisha nk'umunyafurika undi akamukinisha nk'umunyarwanda nubwo ari abanyarwanda urumva rero kuba bavuga ngo bakuremo umwe bashyiremo umukinnyi nk'uwo nguwo ntabwo byaba biri fair
gusa biramusaba nyine nawe kazamura urwego kugira ngo agire nyine kuri rwa rwego rwiza rwo kuba yahangana n'abo ngabo twita ko dusanzwe tubona nabyo nta kandi kazi ariko bitavuze ko hari indi kipe wenda yo hanze ishobora kuba yanamubona ikaba yamutwara akaba ari yazamura urwego.
Ikintu cyiza gihari ni uko aracyari mutoya aracyafite byinshi byo kwiga wenda n'aya ma ekipe yandi makuru cyane cyane abantu tuba twitaho nayo ababireba ntago umudefanseri mwiza nkuriya nkeka ko bizarangira kuriya.
Ubwo mu kanya reka tuze gusubira n'ubundi kuri BK Arena mu gice cya kabiri turebe hagati y'ikipe ya Douane ndetse na Beira ninde uza kuza kwitwara neza muri iminota 20 isigaye. Ubwo twe turaza kugaruka nyuma y'umukino ndetse tunavuga ko tunabararikira kuza gukurikirana n'ubundi umukino uza kuba ku isaha y'isa moya uza kuba ukomeye uza guhuza ikipe ya Petro n'ikipe ya Abidjan ku isaha y'isa moya n'igice.
Games you played for your national team, right?
I lost count.
Oh, there you go. And I know he's really good with numbers, Q, but on this occasion, I'm not going to even go there. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get down to the business end of this third quarter final of the BAL. Numamad into the zone. Perry gets it back and dances through down on the baseline. Back out, Gay. Look at that from Gay. It needs to go in. It does. Yes, it does. Beautiful. Double shot finally with that man Young getting involved.
Well, he gets the second chance opportunity. He does get an important score to start this out. It's Endor Crawford for Amaning and Cherobia on the floor for Coach Papi Gay.
Here he is, Brian Manning going up. He doesn't lock in on that, and a little bit of a tussle there taking place to try and get possession back. It doesn't happen there. Cherobia with his hands on the ball.
He's got to be careful inside there, City Bay. He's got to try and stay on the floor with his two fouls, but yes, it is going to be possession arrow and jump ball, AS Douane basketball.
Here he is, Alkali Endor. Well, Crawford just sneaking out over in the corner there.
Illegal screen called, just trying to create the shot opportunity for Crawford. So it will be the first foul on the floor there for Chiroba. Second foul for Chiroba, first team foul for Douane.
You know, and this is the turnaround thing. Coach Hernandez has quietly maneuvered himself and, you know, just throwing out nuggets to the certain players. We'll see if they can just turn things around and become a little bit more vigilant, you know, both ends of the court. Perry goes up for a big long-range shot, and there is no foul. It just goes out. It's an air ball.
Looking for the contact call and trying to get the make. There was some contact for sure on the shot, but legal contact, and so it goes out of bounds on the air ball.
Asha, we need to come over to you because we know that you're the producer of breaking news. You've got your ears and your eyes absolutely everywhere. You know everybody. We'll talk about what's happening here. First of all, it's been set up by Perry. It doesn't happen. Gay comes in. Oh, he's just unable to pick that up. It's been picked up by Perry, made safe once again. Nurmamad getting rid of his man, goes for a shot. It's a fantastic bucket there. It does happen in a big way. It's a 10-point game.
Presence of mind, just fake, shot fake as Crawford comes in from behind, but he makes a big shot, does Nurmamad. Now 5-point run to start out the third.
That's the perfect way to get things stirred up. Usher, finally, we're going over to you.
Well, just interesting to see that Nigel Young's family is here, the mother, the partner, and the children, just to really give him that extra edge. He struggled in that first half. He only scored 4 points, but he's doing so much work on the defensive side and also support and leadership on the floor.
They turn things around. Thanks very much for that. Yeah, we've seen the family, wonderful family as well. Here he is, Crawford, going up and in. My, oh my, he's up to 16 points now.
Locked in from the three-point line. Chris Crawford, another big-time shot.
And these are the situations that you look at and you go, wait a second, they're doing so well, and then all of a sudden, you know, they reel them in, and then they go again. And that's the strength of AS Douane.
It's the pass as well, just taking 2 steps, turning and finding Crawford wide open. There's a technical foul called on Nurmamad, and here now it's a 4-point play, and they've just erased all the work that they've done to start out this third quarter.
Some stirring words taking place over there between the Beira players. Asha, you can see them right in front of you where you are.
Yeah, this is a very game that is very tense, and obviously it's the finals. You lose, you go home, and Beira, they want to be in the semi-finals and become the first team from Mozambique to achieve that, but it's going to take so much work going into these last 2 quarters of the game.
5-time winners of the Mozambique League, of course, in Division 1, and the last 2 that they've managed to pick up. As Young picks the possession, picks up the ball. They've got to go for this. It's down to 7 seconds. He's trying to find his way through. He's such a dangerous player in the paint, but he's just having a few issues. Keeps his hands on the ball, and they'll keep possession.
Second time we've seen him just go, the move is good, but he's just strong on the finish. Gets the defense behind him, a little bit of contact there from foul, but he was still just rushing it a little bit, not looking as composed as he usually does.
58-42. And they get possession back, but they need to use it wisely. They need to get points now. This is going to be vital for them. There's a shot that goes over the top. There is a foul. And where was he shooting from? I think he was inside of the arc. It's just going to be 2 for Sidibe. And the foul will go against Matthew Brian Amani.
Smart play by Sidibe. He goes quickly. Amani comes and steps into him. And he gets a chance now at the free throw line. That's just good presence of mind and great court awareness.
Sidibe, another player who hasn't really taken control. He hasn't bossed the paint today, Q.
He's been limited in usage. You know, he got himself into a little bit of foul trouble, and Beira came in and gave them a little bit of a spark off the bench. But it's important now that some of the veteran players, some of the guys with experience and know how to score, because Sidibe played for Syracuse in 2018 till last year, and he's got to leverage some of that experience and bring it here to the court for this Ferroviario team.
Sidibe's first shot flies off to the right.
This is, of course, in the NCAA, and it's important that he makes the shot.
Picks up once again. Sidibe gets fouled again. He'll go straight back to the free throw line. It's an error there by Michael Ocharubia. Got to get the free throw shots sorted now.
They haven't been to the free throw line much, and this is now going to be their 8th attempt from the free throw line. They've only shot it at 50%. They've got to find the little pieces where they can claw it back.
3 for Ocharubia. Fouls, I mean, of course. Another shot that doesn't fall. He's gonna look a little bit out of his zone. It needs to sort that out.
Body language has got to change. You've got to be the understanding that there's only 17 minutes left in this game.
And finally, he gets his range. He won't miss again, I'm sure. Here it is, picked up down the left-hand side by Endure. And it's a 15-point lead. But they've got to start working their magic. Perry picks it up. The pass wasn't great there to the big man in the middle, Ocharubia. And look at that from Matt Gay. Beautiful use of the hands through the mangrove, up and down.
He's showcasing his speed and his ability to go downhill, but that's a really good soft finish on the break.
Endure. They're gonna get giving the ball back to Beira. These are the kind of situations that can frustrate a team.
Call for the carry. And Endure just holding for a little second, and absolutely.
Those are the kind of mistakes that you never made in your career, did you, Q?
I was never quite the ball handler. I was a lot better inside the paint, catching and shooting. Truth be told.
Clinical, meticulous Q. Here we go, Perry trying to find his way around Boissy. Boissy's come on, and that just makes it complicated. Oh, that's just good work, that is. And the ball comes to that man. Oh! Full guy! Formidable!
Gets 2 to 4. Another look at the finish from Samba Dalifala right there. It is in transition, just ahead of all the Beira defense. Draws the foul, and he gets a chance to go for that three-point play.
Well, it is really the impact that Jean-Jacques Boissy brings to this AS Douane. He comes off the bench, brings good energy, great on defense, and just literally shapes this AS Douane on the offensive side, and also just to give Alcali Ndour a breather and give them the momentum, because Beira had just achieved that in their past 2 possessions.
Yeah, and he's up to 10 points now, thanks Asha. And as Matt Gay gets the ball to Perry, goes around the outside. Ocharubia is on 4 fouls. Now that's a problem.
He's just a little bit frustrated. He rushes out. And playing against veteran guards, they will get the extra cell where they can, and the contact just a little bit too much. He can't be too aggrieved. A little bit aggressive he was, trying to pull out of it, but Perry got bumped. The foul was called, and he's going to have to go to the bench.
6:12 left in the third quarter. So the quarter that can be very pivotal, and it can, you know, it's an opening for a lot of teams to get back into a game. And Nurmamad, they'll feed off these kind of little victories when they're getting the better. Young, well, he needs to try and sort himself. It's just frustrating, that is, for Beira.
Great coverage. They don't allow him to put the ball on the floor. He tries to pass it out to Nurmamad, steps out of bounds, and that's great defensive possession.
Crawford looking to take a quick pass in transition. There you can see it in the replay there. And here we go. And Manning. Full. Out wide to Boissy. Boissy. Shot clock down to 5. There's the foul going through and tries to get it up and in. It's another flick. Look, they're queuing up, and they've got to be careful with that because it's just so easy for them on the offensive rebounds.
Manning pounding it inside the paint. The second chance opportunity just too big inside.
If Nurmamad starts to fire in those big three-pointers, then they've got a few issues there. It hasn't happened just yet. AS Douane get possession back in a pretty good position.
They'll drop to under 31% on them. It's 5 of 17 now from the three-point line.
Full. Going up and using the glass. He gets another chance. It doesn't. Now, finally, and that's been knocked out. They will get possession. Sidibe defensively in position on that occasion. Well, he had to be, basically, 63-45, because they just managed to allow Matthew Bryan and Manning to get himself in, and on that occasion he made sure that he was not going to allow it to happen a second time in succession.
Well, in the first half, the rebounding battle was really even. We're starting to see dominance on the boards here from AS Douane.
Picked up, nice charge, Wool. And that's going to be a foul. It's picked up there by Adama Diakite, I think, who just snapped. No, it is Bryan and Manning, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a foul on Manning, who's trying to rush out. It's a hand on, right onto the forearm there of Sidibe, who drives in, and that's going to be another foul. And we're going to get a chance here for a break, Robbie.
Well, let's go for a break then, shall we? What do you reckon, Q?
I think we should.
Okay. There's 18 points separating AS Douane of Senegal. The West Africans in dominant mood out here for quarter-final 3 of the Basketball Africa League. Beira, well, they've got a bit of a mountain to climb, but 18 points, that can be chopped down very quickly, and I think that's where they're at the moment. Sidibe going up to the free throw line. He's coming off a positive score from the line, from the charity line, where he scored his last one. Just missing that one there.
Well, he has struggled from the free throw line for sure, and if he continues to shoot it like this, they're going to be happy every time they see him at the free throw line. Sidibe, he makes 1 of 2 on that trip, but that's going to be an area that they can claw back. They've got AS Douane in foul trouble as they pick up the 15 fouls, so it's shooting on every single attempt from here on in, and from every foul from here on in.
Yeah, and 4:40 left in this third quarter as Boissy gets the ball out. Foul Diakite, well, surely that's an offensive. Yes, it is. And that's they're going straight to the free throw line with that foul. Sorry, they won't. But the foul will go against the big man.
Diakite putting the ball on the floor, trying to muscle his way inside. Sharp work by Sidibe to get in front of the big. And 2 fouls. It is for that man Diakite, who's just contributed 1 point in his new move to this AS Douane team.
Sidibe. Oh, that's just being hassled there. It's great work there with Crawford just going outside of the arc, goes up for 3, back off, and there's a chance. Matt Gay, can he go past on his own? Goes and tries to drop it up. Another chance, and there's a foul on Sidibe. He goes to the free throw line once again.
I think that play is a great way to sum up what we've seen from Ferroviario de Beira. They rushed it. Gay did a very good job of being quick up the floor. He hangs in the air, try to get the finish. Sidibe had no one around him, was able to collect, still no defense on him, but rushed the shot again. And that's been a symptom of their style of play. They just have to take a second, breathe, and try and get into their normal style of play.
And Boissi's on 3 fouls now. Asha Kumagisha's on 0 fouls at the moment. She usually gets fouled out at one time in the game, but she's doing quite well. Very disciplined performance today, Asha.
I'm playing good defense. I'm not trying to, create contact over here. Just, doing what I've been told to do.
63-47. So again, Sidibe, 5 points, 3 rebounds, and there you can see percentage. It's not great for the free throw line as Boissi goes up, and it's been stolen once again. Perry, Nurmamad tries to go past Crawford. Oh, get out of my house there, big block from Adama Diakite.
Oh, he's going to feel a little aggrieved. Man, that was great defense. Running into the paint. The contact does come, but Nurmamad a little bit ahead. Diakite comes across, tries to swat it, but body contact just after the ball was blocked.
It's it's like swatting those giant mosquitoes again. I mean, it really is quite complicated. But he got the the bucket-like hand coming across to make sure that nothing was going anywhere. Diakite picking up his 3rd personal foul. Now, this is where Beira can actually try and exploit this area. You talked about the free throws going up. It's Nurmamad this time, but it's also about playing that physical game and drawing the fouls so that they just go up there all the time. But afterwards, they got to make sure that they just sink those points.
So you got 3 guys in foul trouble on the AS Douane side. It's Boissi's got 3, Diakite's got 3, Ocherobia has 4, and that's going to definitely be a factor going into the 4th quarter.
63-49, 14 points. Looking to try and bring it down to below 10 going into the 4th quarter. Otherwise, AS Douane will be bossing it and looking to try and find their way into the semi-finals. Here is the full guy going through, and it goes over the top. The floater doesn't happen. It's been thrown back out to Boissi. Boissi for 3. Big long-range shot, and it's been made safe at the back. Good work from Mayad Mungwambe.
Whoa. Call comes in, and blocking foul is called on Boissi. Marginal. Boissi is not very happy, but nonetheless, a call had to be made. They got to pick one side, and it's going to be 2 more shots from the free throw line for that man, Nurmamad. Trying to position his body, trying to get center of his chest into the contact, and right there to make the call.
And a lot of enthusiasm from the side of the court, which is totally normal. Boissi up to 4 fouls, and that is going to be an issue. We talked about it. We'll talk about it right through until the final buzzer, because that's going to play an integral role if it comes down. But you've got to nail those shots from the free throw line.
Now at 55%, they've missed 9 free throws. Ferroviario, Beira, and they've got to do just a better job. 8 free throws rather missed from so far. They've got to look at converting. If they will it in, they could.
And there's another missed shot from the free throw line. Are they getting a bit anxious on the side, on the AS Douane bench there, Russia?
Yes, absolutely. You can get the feeling that they're very nervous, especially when their key players, are suffering in that personal fouls trouble. But they have the quality to deliver the job. They can see this through. Alcalindro is yet another leader. He's the captain of the team. And on the floor, he can run the plays offensively and give a chance to the bigs, Amaning and Diakite, in that paint.
Diakite in the paint is always a problem for Beira, and they get possession back. Here he is. He'll go move into position. Amanning back to score. Foul going for three. Big shot. The full guy. Fantastico.
Wide open, and again trying to get his team back in it, and that's a one way that they can against the 2-3 zone of Ferroviario Beira. Knock down wide open shots.
2:47 left, and they go back. They go up to 17 now. Numamat got to get some shots in, got to get some points in. Numamat out to Perry. Perry comes off the metal, and they managed to make it safe. There's Matt Gay. Matt Gay doing again the rebound. The rebound is good. That's great work. Persistence pays at the end of the day, and a good score from Barama Sidibe.
Well, you really like to see the fight and hustle inside the paint. It's a battle on both sides of the floor for both of these teams.
We're enjoying this big time, aren't we, Q? It's frenetic action here. There's a lot going on. And Diop tries to go up. Nicely dropped in there by Pap Diop.
Outside in, inside out. We see the three-pointer and then a beautiful find and easy finish for Diop.
Up to 17 again. Just lead changes, 4 and 4. This is just, it's going to be entertaining with this final quarter, but they've really got to continue to play that physical game and draw a lot of attention to the players with the ball in their hand. Here he is, Diakite. Oh, there's the hassle and the hustle, and is that Diakite who picks up a foul?
Well, it should be. I mean, that's right. He's closest to the core, and if it is, it's going to be his fourth.
Look at that. There's a lot of action there on Sidibe. He flings himself into the heart of the action, and there it is. Number 4 goes up on the board, and that is going to be a problem. So let's just get the lay of the land. 3 players on 4 fouls, not just anybody. Ocho Rubia, Diakite, and Boissy.
That's definitely, it's going to cause some rotation problems for Coach Pabigay, and now he might have to go a little bit deeper than he planned into his rotation.
Straight to the free throw line. It's that man, Barama Sidibe, trying to sink this. He spent so much time at the charity line, but he needs to try and find his positivity.
3 of 9 on that miss, Sidibe.
Gerald Young's coming back on. Needs to find his great place, his positive place, because the game that he can bring to this court is quite extraordinary. He hasn't brought it yet.
It's set up for him a little bit with all of the fouls that you've seen happen, and with the free throw line is the 3 of 10 now for that man Sidibe.
Taken up by Endure. Out wide, Diop goes for a big long-range 3. Made safe. That's a foul. It is another foul. This time it's Douane is his first, though, so it's not really an issue, but still.
It is an issue. It's a defensive foul, so he's going to go and shoot 2 more.
Yes, yeah.
And it's going to continue to spotlight his difficulties from the free throw line. The one thing that is positive about this is he's got a chance to get himself into some rhythm. He gets every opportunity right now to just get his team back, claw them back. The clock isn't moving. You get a chance to just get a couple of points back for your team.
Sidibe time.
You hear coaches harp on the importance of free throws, the ability to convert from a charity stripe. Right now, you are starting to understand the importance of making those shots.
It's got to go in, and it does. And there we go. Finally, a little bit of positivity going his way, and the Beira supporters not smiling just yet, but there's still a lot of basketball to be played. Foul gets the ball out to Diop. Diop out to Endure. Endure goes around the outside. It's a poor pass, and it's gone straight into the hands of Numamat. Oh, he's a little bit too far wide, not the perfect pass, but in any case, shows the ball goes in, and there's a chance, gets it back out. They got loads loads of time. There's no rush. They're rushing a little bit, I think, Hugh, and they could have just waited and bided their time a little bit.
Again, I don't think the best option, and you're correct, Robbie. Just a little bit too hasty in decision-making on that possession.
You know, you got the fast break, okay, that's fair enough, but just bide your time, you know, just wait until players are in the right position and make the right pass. Here's Zandor trying to find the foul man. Oh, the foul guy is in town. Foul guy.
You get a contested shot on one end, and you pick up the rebound, and then they get an uncontested wide-open three and foul up to 21 points.
Looking for Young to try and stand out once again. He's only got 4 points. That's dropped into the middle, Sidibe, and that goes in, and that is not going to count. I think that was a really good defensive position there from Samba Foul because he didn't budge.
Doing it on both ends of the floor, just heads-up play. Understood that on the catch there wasn't going to be anywhere for Sidibe to go. Draws the contact, gets the charge, secures the possession.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where momentum will push the foul against you.
Largest lead of the game here for AS Douane.
You still get the impression that Beira is still in this for some reason. That's what how deceiving it is. Now it's the final shot of this third quarter.
They are still within it. There is still a chance.
5 seconds. Perry goes up, he's got to go for the shot. Oh, he's just lost possession. They won't get anything from that, and that's the end of the third quarter. And as you said, Q, biggest lead so far. Can they come back? Beira go into the fourth quarter knowing they've got a mountain to climb. It's a Senegalese mountain. 71 points for AS Douane, 52 for Beira as we take a break. This is the moment. This is what it's all about. The whole entire season depends on this as we take a look at the game summary, Q.
46% from the field. They've executed at a high level of AS Douane. It's aided by that 11 of 21 from the three-point line. They moved the ball well against the zone of this Ferroviario de Beira. And on the other end, the 52 points on the field goal percentage that has been presented, they've got to do a better job. I think we're going to see some defensive adjustments out of the break.
And Joe goes up, gets it out wide. Manning goes up, tries to drop it in over the top. Pick the ball up once again, shot clock down to 4 seconds, got to get their shot in, and that might be a little bit too late. It's going to be down, it's too late. That will not count.
Shot clock violation. And if you want to start a quarter, that's the best way to do it. You set the tone defensively.
Yeah, just just clamping him out and shutting out the light. Brian and Manning unable to just weave and untangle himself away from the mangrove, and doing a pretty good job defensively to stop the man from doing the business.
Manning and Dianya on the floor for Coach Papi Gay.
Nigel Young trying to work his magic. It's been picked up. There's a chance for them to try and push forward. We need to see Young come to his fore, show some of that wisdom that he's fully capable of doing. And we already have a foul within the space of 33 seconds, and everything's all happening here so far.
Big foul, and we saw the narrative of a lot of fouls being committed by this team, and here's another one as Diop gets caught behind on the drive from Ngwambe.
Young has to come to the fore. The ball comes out. Matt Gay going up. Oh, it's a beautiful mid-range two that's dropped in, and now they're starting to reel them in, reeling in the big sailfish.
Smooth, under control, and really great shot. Malale, Young, Gay, Ngwambe, and Sidibe on the floor for Coach Hernandez.
Ndor gets the ball out, trying to swing it around. Diop back to Ndor, gets the ball back. The shot clock going down. They're clamping them out a little bit. Malale doing really well. And it's an air ball, and it goes out of bounds.
We build momentum. A couple of great defensive possessions. Now all they got to do is get a couple of scores, and then we could see a fight back.
Could see a fight back. I want to hear from the best spy in town, who spies in and picks up all of these golden nuggets, breaking news, absolutely everything. Usher, what's the score? What did you pick up between those quarters?
It's just the Beira players just really coming around Young and saying they, of course, still believe in him. They still need him to up his game on the offensive side. He's had a quiet game.
God, that's a cracking little steal there. Al-Khali and Ndor just stealing and driving up unchallenged. 2 points in the bag, and again they work really hard to get themselves back on track.
Every single time there's a little bit of a run, AS Douane have got an answer.
That's the fullback attempt to try and get two in, goes back out. Shot clock back to 14. Matt Gay, there's Malale. Malale goes up, he doesn't have it drop in. The battle, the tussle, the hustle, and the fight, and it will be a foul that goes against Sidibe. Foul number 4 for him.
I do think they're going to call it on Ngwambe. He's one of the two guys who was closest there, and could have really gone either way. Now it looks like Ngwambe are going to be taking a walk off the challenge. And then just a little bit later on, Ngwambe picking up his first.
Yeah, look at that. That was the moment that we saw Al-Khali and Ndor go charging up court, producing the goods there. Perfect delivery.
And here's the change in defense. Just a press being employed now by Coach Luis Hernandez. Going to try and speed up the possessions and see if they can't get a couple of steals wrestled away. Or just poor shot selection from this AS Douane team.
We're just getting the lay of the land with Sarah El Shanoubi of Egypt. Just making sure that the timing, the clock is all set perfectly. Picks up, couldn't get hold of the ball. The outstretched tentacles of Sidibe unable to keep the ball on the right side of the paint.
Almost picking up the steal off the defensive adjustment. But it stays with AS Douane.
And again, it's still a 19-point lead for AS Douane. Crawford for a big long-range three. It doesn't happen. Off the metal it comes. Brian and Manning. Crawford picks it up, goes again, and it's a mid-range, trying to get it off the glass there. Excellent play there from Amadou Diagne, who just makes sure that that is going nowhere else but in the basket.
Second and then third chance opportunity. Diagne with a big score.
Sidibe tries to find his range. The tussle, the battle. Young does really well. Numamad back out to Perry. Perry back on, drives through the paint, goes up, and a little bit of contact with the net. I don't know who touched that, but I think that Perry was fouled. There he is, he's parked up in the paint there.
No contact call as he goes to ground. Perry's looking a little bit frustrated with what's happening on the floor. The lead has now gone over 20 points. It's the largest lead of the game, and they've got time and pressure that continues to build.
Yeah, I want to get access to some of the classified information that Coach Gay has got, because he's working some fine skills moves, and he needs to reveal his plans and his master plan, because at the moment, you know, he's producing a really cunning plan in what he's actually done. Very smart coach, a very shrewd coach, isn't he?
He has definitely got the game plan right in terms of the way that they've broken down this Ferroviario zone, the way they've adapted to the pressure from Ferroviario defense, and their scoreboard reads comfortably now with the 21-point lead.
75-54, 7:22 left on the clock in the final quarters. Now or never. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Yeah, welcome back to the BK Arena. It's riveting stuff as we enter the final 7:22 of this third quarter-final battle of the BAL. AS Douane lead by 21 points over Beira. Najeel Young needs to come to the fore, and he doesn't manage to sink that mid-range two. Comes back off the metal.
Not the ideal start of the timeout. They called the break early in the fourth quarter so that they can just get that strategy right to see if there is a last run possible here for the team from Beira.
Here is Crawford. Crawford, 17 points and playing extremely well. Doesn't go down this time, and Bia's on from the DRC. One of the two BAL Elevate players, of course, the other one being Kaman Malawash, and Young gets it out, picked up. Oh, that's a traveling call. A little bit of frustration there. That would have been something special there going in from that man, Paul Bia.
Well, that was a crisp pass from Nimama to find the Bia. Drives baseline, scoops the pass, just drops it off, and the Bia turns, but yeah,
that's the footwork. There's Crawford. Crawford passes out wide to Endure. Endure, big long range shot. It goes around and out. Perry time. Perry goes up. He tries to sink that big three-pointer. That's really good fighting. The fighting is fantastic from Perry. Najeel Young, confidence not there, gets it out to Gay. Matt Gay goes for three. Oh, it's a beautiful bucket there for that man Gay.
He's having a standout offensive game. Matt Gay has been good on the off the dribble, and again you get to see another look at the fight from Perry, and then Gay pulling up from the perimeter for three.
Perry, the feisty floor manager, who needs to really stand out from the crowd now. He's not the only one. That floated up, and in. 75-57. They still continue to get points despite the fact that Beira are really pushing them.
Tipped in, and again, it's every single time they need a bucket, they get it.
Oh, that's the bucket they're talking about. That man, Young, has just showed us what he's capable of doing finally.
This might spark his offense. It's his first field goal in I don't know how many minutes, and that, just seeing it go through the rim can be a spark.
Yeah, that's, you know, it could be a game changer. It could be a turnaround. You talk about triggers here and the way that, just the way that things can just turn around just with that one little moment. That moment could be like that. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Crawford in possession. bit of support there with Douane. He again goes up. This time, Nurmamad takes the rebound. Perry picks it up, down into the corner. Gay goes up for three. Gay goes up for three. Who's going to get the rebound? It's not made safe, and that will be a foul. I think Perry might have made contact with Door.
Smart foul. They had numbers ahead and really just had no choice but to disrupt a potential wide open transition opportunity.
Yeah, but that's just straightforward points, I think, basically. So Perry's only on one foul, now he's on two. It really is use of the brain. Good time to go across to Usher. Usher, tense times. You're just behind Coach Hernandez.
Yes, Coach Hernandez, of course, still believes that Beira can turn this around. And like Q talked about Yang being able to spark his offensive play with that three-pointer. There's so much work to be done, but they have to play good defense, get themselves some second chance points on the offensive side, and see if they can deliver.
Well, Ambia's just fouled Brian Manning.
It was a hard foul by Beira as he comes down on the almost onto the head of Amani, who did well to get the shot up. It rattled in and out, but he'll get a chance to go to the free throw line. And there's a word there just between Beira and referee Sarah Al-Shanubi, and I think just echoing that could have been a tad uncontrolled, and could be marginal on a flagrant.
Oh, come on, give him the benefit of the doubt. He's only 18 years of age. Liz Mills watching on, of course, coach of ABC Fighters, ready to enter the zone with a wonderful battle as we see the Lions of Teranga fans solidly behind AS Douane. It's all happening here, of course, ABC Fighters of Côte d'Ivoire up against Petro Luanda in the second game tonight, the final quarter-final of the Basketball Africa League. It really is reaching a wonderful moment in this wonderful competition, and this is the 33rd game as Crawford loses possession, gets it back out. There's Mbia, waits for support, goes himself. Is that the right move? I'm not too sure.
Out of control once again, rushing the offense. Mbia gets caught up.
That's solid play, aggressive, smooth, but also laced with panache from that man. Foul, and here we go. It's Crawford slowing things down, quite happy, watching the clock, keeping an eye on the clock. It's a 19-point lead.
There's been 19 Ferroviario turnovers.
Wow. And Dior swings it back out. Crawford goes up, and Manning makes sure that the offensive rebound is in.
And now it's just too much offense. They don't have an answer. 11 rebounds, 13 points. Manning with the double-double.
Off the bench.
Important one.
Long-range shot. Yeah, and the fact that he's done it off the bench is also a positive thing. I think, you know, that they can look in, and Coach Gay has depth. Prove it tonight. AS Douane.
Wameke guard to ground right now, holding his mouth.
Yeah.
Another look at the kick out to that sniper, Chris Crawford, and the work from Manning on the follow. Takes himself to 13 points, and that additional. And there is just the shot to the mouth, inadvertent. And those can be kind of painful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But, you know, it's just it's a little whip of, you know, the fingers to the mouth just as you're moving away. Nothing intentional, but of course it basically means that, you know, you need to go and get some treatment. And there's a timeout that's been called, of course, with 3:25 left, called by Luis Hernandez, the coach of Beira. What can they do, Q?
They've tried to press. They've gone to the free throw line, and what they've also tried to do is that they've tried to extract some value from the perimeter. They've got to keep going. They've got to keep continuing to shoot and chase down rebounds. They've got the presence of a big Mbia inside the paint, and maybe they can find some answers just to try and loosen up the perimeter. And quick scores, can see them just rein it in. We've seen this scenario before where a couple of quick threes, and then all of a sudden the tension changes on the floor and momentum shifts really quickly, and they can come right back. Samba Fall leading the way, 29 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, the double-double from Brian Manning with 13 points and 11 rebounds of his own. Maktar Gay has led the way for Ferroviario Beira. And when you look at what's happened on the floor and how the scouting reporters work, Will Perry and Najeel Young combining for 17 points on 5 of 24 shots. It's been a tough day from them from the field. Still, 7 assists and 5 rebounds for Perry. And of course, Coach Jose Neto, he is looking rather relaxed, but he knows that there's the business end of the competition for him. They're going to be taking place when they take on the ABC fighters, Petro de Luanda.
And that will take place in a couple of hours. In about an hour and 38 minutes, to be very precise. Undur picks it up. And here we go. Malawash getting a bit of time on court. Here he is from the BAL Elevate program. Of course, we picked him up. We talk about it. But they've done a fantastic job. NBA Academy here in Africa. Ball comes out. That's nicely done. Trying to get himself in there. Swatted away. But there is time for Beira to go to the free throw line. There was contact. And it will be that man, Mungwambe.
Trying to manipulate it, just going up and under, and then gets the rebound back, and it's cleared out, but it's foul, I think, who will pick up the call because contact comes on the ground. It was not on the aerial block.
And I just wanted to talk about the NBA Academy. Of course, Roland Houston is the man, the technical director, but the guys who work on that project, Joe Tumu and Alfred Aboya and Sidi Sal, Karim Nesba, Isaiah West, all of these guys just making sure that the youngsters just come up, get all of the assistance and the help that they need to be, become what they want to become. And some of them are just playing some incredible basketball, but they're also incredible human beings.
Incredible on both fronts, and that's great work from Mungwambe, who was incredible on the defensive end.
Excellent score there. Just fighting, hustling. Got to go for everything now. There's just no time left. Malawash gets the ball out to Foul. Standout player today. Douane goes up. Oh, that is just sublime. Ghosting his way between obstacles.
Slithering right between the defense, Douane, as he gets a very, very nice score.
Oh, swatted away by that man, Malawash, as well. But there is contact, and it's that man, Young, who'll go to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
And that's usually what we get to see from him. Another look at that beautiful drive inside from Douane, and here's another look at the contact drawn from Young. Have not seen that from Young, and maybe now too late for him to come back into this one. Malawash picks up his first foul.
Asher, we're going to come over to you. Just a couple of minutes to go. Again, you're just behind the Beira bench. Do they still believe?
No, it's a little bit complicated right now. They've had so many chances to turn this game around. Things have not gone well for them. Their shots are not dropping from the backcourt. But really, when you look at the game in terms of size, they've really been outsized, and it's played a key role in what's on the scoreboard right now.
Mungwambe picking up his second foul, just putting a little bit of pressure on Crawford there. A little push in the back. Yeah, no, it's exactly that. I think that it is super complicated. We've got to the point where, we really understand that if they would have, just brought down the lead a little bit in the third quarter, it would have been probably feasible, but it's been too good at Douane.
They really happy to get another great play.
Smashing score. The celebrations coming thick and fast there for that man, Douane.
Well, emphasis dunks have been the theme of these quarterfinals, and that's another exclamation mark. The beautiful lob inside Douane. Jumps off the trampoline, flushes it down with 2.
Boissy just dropping it in. The perfect place for Douane to just finish it all up. Stunning. AS Douane. The customs officers, which is where the origin of this basketball team came from, in Dhaka, created in 1980, got their first title in 1998, and they really are showing us that they can most definitely deal in a big way.
They'd be very happy because they got knocked out in the quarterfinal stages in year 1, going down to US Monastir, and now the improvement, and that's a nice grab from Gay. The improvement it is opportunity to advance to the semi-final stage will be big.
Yeah, and they didn't get the chance to play on home soil in Dakar because the first season was a bubble and it was all took place here in Kigali. So this year they managed to get to play in front of home fans. Gay goes up, Gay, oh, put it in. There you go. And Perry just getting in the way. Points on the paint, 36 for AS Douane, 26 for Beira. And 85-69, look at that. That is just poster stuff, isn't it, from Matt Gay.
Again, beautiful one-handed slam. Matt Gay going up and in, and he's had his best game, his best showing in the Basketball Africa League, 19 points. But right now, maybe a slither of hope, brother. Maybe just a slither of hope for this team from Beira.
Yeah, and Maktar Gay from Rufisque with the Basketball Without Borders 2015 Africa mission, of course, and the national team as well. Wonderful player.
And we've always had a call for him to step up his offensive game. He's got a lot in his bag. He's quite versatile because he's able to. He was trained as a guard when he was young and then grew into the size that he has now. So has a lot of guard skills on the perimeter, and you see him go to that quite often, but can also use his size and athleticism on the inside, and that's what appeals to coaches. That's what makes him an interesting prospect when he has ball in hand.
Let's take a look at that man Samba Fall, who's been the man of the moment. 23 points, top scorer. Look at that percentage of field goals, 69. 3 points, 80%. Just incredible. And the rebounds are there, the assists. It's been a complete performance there for Samba Fall, the point guard.
As they're talking about great performances here, absolutely outstanding for that man Samba Fall. He was breathtaking from start to finish, and 4 of 5 from that three-point line.
And he was the MVP against Duke in the finals that's enabled him to qualify for this BAL Season 3. Just to give you an understanding of just how important he is. We go to the free throw line with JJ Boissy, again looking to just top up his tally. He's on 10 points already in double figures. One of 4 players within the AS Douane team. And, you know, they're just chipping away and just, you know, they're doing such a great job. You know, Corporate been great. You know, don't get me wrong, but I think that, you know, when you actually look at the local talent that's come out of this AS Douane team, it's been exceptional.
They do produce some really great talent out in Senegal, and they have the tools and the athletes, and it's good to see it translate for them.
Ball goes out of play, and so the Will Perry's okay. Yes, and Najel Young just talking to us. There you go. We nearly managed to get hold of the ball, but Will's back up on his feet. I hope that he's okay because, well, he's such a brilliant ambassador for what he's brought from the States for African basketball. It's been unbelievable. Mozambique, you know, will greatly appreciate everything that he's brought to the game.
He has been a soldier on the floor for Beira. Again, took them further than what they did in the previous season. They only picked up 1 win in group play, and they were knocked out, did not make it into the final stage here, and this is their first appearance in the quarterfinals, and they understand the nature of what knockout basketball looks like, and it's all got to go right for you. It's the better team on the day. There's no reflection on the team and its depth, but you've got to get it right on the day, and that's always the narrative. Consistency and performance always matters.
Najel Young just coming over and just saying sort of, you know, it's just been one of those days, and you know, it's exactly that. AS Douane have just looked, they've just looked a little bit sharper. The Lions of Teranga, look at these fans. They pretty much know that this is, you know, set in stone. Whatever they do, they win. You know, they're winning titles in all sports. Football, you know, it's just been, they're winning every title that they play in the African Cup of Nations, and you know, under 17s, under 20s, under 50s, under 40s, whatever they do, it's magic. Oh my word. Well, there you go. That is just massive, isn't it? And all of a sudden, things start to turn into something else. Najel Young, look at this.
Gets by, blows it with his, throws it down with his left hand rather. That's just the blow by Maluach caught flat-footed. Young with the thunderous slam.
one-handed, bang, boom, in she goes. And he doesn't get the third point, but just getting in the way of the big man, Kama Malawash. Just been warned by Sarah El Shamoui. Usher, yeah, Senegal. Hey, what about Senegal? The West Africans, they're having an absolute blast this year. The last 18 months have been incredible.
Yeah, it's been an incredible 18 months for Senegal as a country. They've won everything in football on the continent at under 17, under 20, Chan, the AFCON, beach soccer, and now AS Douane just really coming alive and just a minute away from a place in the semi-finals. That would be huge for their fans. Some of them here who've traveled all the way from Dakar, and we're talking 22-hour flights.
Crazy, right? Malala getting the ball out, and there's Makdage going up, tries to get his three-pointer in, made safe by Boissy, thrown up to Diobiri. Out of his hands it goes, and the attempt to try and deal with that. Again, you can see Gay getting in the way.
Every single AS Douane player that has been on the floor gets a score, and there is Diop, who was brought in as well as an addition into this team for the quarterfinals. 2 points his production on the day.
Malali picking up his first foul. Another thing that you've got to look at is Senegal. You know, it's a remarkable West African country. It's, you know, they've got 17 million people, 30 languages that they speak up there. You know, Wolof, Serra, and the Fula people, the Lions of Teranga, great sporting nation. And they've also got the storytellers, the griots. These guys are incredible. The creative people, keeping West African tales alive for over thousands of years, Q. And, you know, it's all about the culture, the music, and the creative people, and the voices of West African society that live right to this very day, and you know, and they live forever. It's wonderful.
A beautiful story about a beautiful country on a magnificent continent.
Here we go. Malawash out wide, Boissy outside, inside. Oh, up and over and out it goes. And again, we see that, well, it's Young who just gets in the way.
Well, he's got a wry smile on his face. You know he really wanted that one. Ball goes up, and just a nice touch on timely hand there. Malale picks up the foul, and it just causes enough disruption to take away the highlight play.
Just taking away, stealing the thunder.
It's been such a tough afternoon here for Beira. Not too much has gone their way, and it's been a comprehensive performance here by AS Douane.
Hey, look, they finished second in the Sahara Conference behind Stade Malien. Stade Malien showed us yesterday what they're capable of doing. Young tries to go up. He gets fouled by Malawash. You go to the free throw line. And, you know, Stade Malien were outstanding yesterday in the way that they just managed absolutely everything. They tagged themselves as kind of like sort of, you know, they weren't favourites over in the Sahara Conference, but they finished in the top spot, and they have just continued to rise. Well, AS Douane in the same scenario.
And the funny thing is, a lot of people talk about the relative strength of the conferences, and if you're doing a count, then it is Sahara Conference 1, Nile Conference 1, and this right now will be Sahara Conference picking up a second win. So just to show you how it scales and balances between the different conferences, and it is always intriguing because it's part of the conversation.
It's part of the conversation. It's part of the history of the Basketball Africa League. Third season here, and we're getting to the nitty-gritty stage of, you know, who's going to make it to the Final Four. We have two. Now we're looking at a third, and Beira 19 points behind as Young goes up to the free throw line. He's on 12 points. He's actually made it into double figures, which is a positive. He'll take some light from that, but one of those days, it's been a complicated affair for Nigel Young. Wonderful player, but kind of in the shadows a little bit today. Just hasn't clicked into gear.
It was not his day. He struggled from the field, and at least he's able to close out with a strong fourth quarter showing.
Oh, Boissy time.
Spark plug time.
Again, he's showing us 15 points now. He's the third highest scorer. And long-range Malali shots off the rim, back out. Made safe. Dieng the last play of this third quarterfinal here at the BK Arena for the Basketball Africa League, and it is all over and done. It's finished, it's done and dusted. Senegal celebrates AS Douane's qualification for the semi-finals. The first time in the Basketball Africa League that a Senegalese team have made it. Coach K has led his team into the semi-finals. The final score here, AS Douane 93, Beira 73.
Fantastic performance by AS Douane. It started out with their red-hot shooting from the